All right, let's talk about something you probably never thought would be exciting: rules and regulations. Specifically, we're going to check out how the super dry, kind of technical world of drone laws can actually spark incredible creativity for young inventors. It's a wild idea, so let's get into it.
So let me just throw this out there to get us started. What if a legal document, the kind of thing that puts most of us to sleep, could actually become a rite of passage? Something that doesn't just ask you to follow the rules, but actually dares you to create something new because of them. Let's see how that's even possible. Okay, first things first, we gotta understand the lay of the land. I mean, before you can start breaking the mold, you have to know what the mold is made of. And for drones, believe me, that rulebook is getting thicker by the minute.
Now, what's so interesting here is this push and pull. On one side, you've got a massive city like New York finally saying, okay, you can fly drones here. That's a huge door opening. But at the same exact time, you've got the FAA stepping up with rules like remote ID, which is basically a digital license plate for every drone out there. More freedom, but also more responsibility. And hey, this isn't just a US thing. Not by a long shot. The European Union has its own set of standardized rules for flying across countries. It's a complex, global web of regulations. Actually, one of the best ways to even make sense of it all is a massive directory put together entirely by volunteers, a real community effort, which is pretty cool. So, this is where most of us would probably stop, right? We see a rule and we think, okay, that's a limit, that's a don't. But what if we flipped that script completely? What if every single one of those rules was really just a design challenge in disguise? And that exact idea, well, that's where the heart of this story is. There's this program in New York, the Cohandy Youth Training and Inventors Hub, and they've built this whole unique philosophy around turning compliance into pure creativity. They call it the Cohandy method. The Cohandy method is it's brilliant. It takes something like legal literacy, understanding drone laws, and completely reframes it as a challenge, a rite of passage. All of a sudden, knowing the law isn't a chore, it's a badge of honor. And even better, it's a launchpad for actually building something new. So you're probably wondering, okay, that sounds great, but how in the world do they actually pull that off? Well, they turn the whole training process into a kind of ritual. They take that dense, boring legal text and transform it into these hands-on, engaging quests. They've laid out this incredible journey called the 5 Rights of Drone Stewardship. Each one of these rights is tied directly to a real-world set of rules. It's this structured path that guides an apprentice from figuring out local New York City laws all the way up to understanding global standards and the importance of giving back. To really get what they're doing, let's just zoom in on one of these. We're going to follow the journey of the compliance right and see how it works from start to finish. Remember this one? The FAA's remote ID rule, the digital license plate? In any normal class, this would be a total snooze fest of a lecture. But at Cohandy, this dry federal regulation becomes the centerpiece of a powerful ritual. They start by changing the way you even think about the law. They give the apprentices this phrase to internalize: my signal is sacred, my ID is legacy. Wow, that one sentence flips a bureaucratic rule into this deep personal responsibility. It's not about data anymore, it's about your legacy. And here's where the rubber meets the road. First, they study the rules, but through this new lens of sacred responsibility. Then, for their badge challenge, they literally build a symbolic physical version of a digital license plate. And finally, they head to the Inventors Hub and actually code a working broadcast module. They don't just learn the rule, they invent a response to it. So what's the big picture here? What does all this lead to? It's about way more than just training pilots or coders. It's about nurturing a new generation of stewards, young people who see technology as a way to care for their community and build a lasting legacy. Okay, this is the master plan. Right here. This chart just lays it all out. Look at the urban flight right. It starts with NYC's new laws. They adopt the phrase, "I see from above to protect below." And the final creation is an aerial animation for community advocacy. Every single right follows this incredible path, from law to motto to challenge to a real-life invention. And that's the whole point, isn't it? The outcome here isn't just knowledge in your head. It's an invention in your hands. It's a real prototype designed to help people, whether it's a drone that inspects rooftops in the Bronx or a kit for monitoring floods somewhere else in the world. And it doesn't just stop there, which is what makes this so special. These inventions are treated like sacred gifts. The apprentices actually present their work at community gatherings, and their designs get inscribed on a wall of honor. It turns a class project into a real, lasting legacy for them and for their neighborhood.
And that leaves us with one last thought. The coin handy method really proves that even the most boring, mundane rules can be a runway for amazing creativity. So let me ask you, what boring rules in your life are just sitting there, waiting for you to transform them?